prepare to learn because this video is a tutorial on how to draw a fox lying down, like the one you saw. Firstly, you are going to start with drawing a circle where you want the head of your fox to be. This is the sketch, so if you're doing it on digital, I'd say do it on a different layer than the line art and do it in a different color. I use red, and if you're on paper, then do it lightly in pencil. The next step is to add some of the facial features. I usually like to do the little cross line thingy to help me figure out like where the eye and snout should go, but you don't have to do that. That's just something I like to do. So yeah, draw the eye and the snout for the eye. You can just draw however you want it, however you usually draw eyes. You don't have to do the circle eye. The next thing I did was to draw the ear shape. I did it going back, like kind of folded back, but you can do it sticking straight up, which would just be drawing like a triangle on top of the head instead of going off to like the back of it. The next step is to draw two circles for where the body is. The first circle is where the chest is going to be, and the second circle is where the back is where the body is going to end. The next step is to connect the head to the chest circle with two lines for the neck and connect the two body circles with two lines. The next step is to draw circles for where you want the legs to bend and then draw circles for where the paws are going to be. The next step is to connect the paw circle to the circle where the legs are going to bend with a line and connect the circle where the legs are going to bend to the body. The next step is to sketch out where the tail is going to be. I did it going across the body, but you can do it in however position you want. This step only applies if you are drawing it digitally, which is to turn down the opacity of the sketch layer if you can, and add another layer for the line art. The next step is to do the outline of the fox on the line art, and if you are doing this on paper, I'd recommend going over the line art with a pencil first before using a marker so that you can erase any mistakes you make originally in the line art with the pencil and then go over it in marker so you can be sure. The next step is to add the lines for the underbelly and tail tips and all that stuff. You don't have to add a tail tip or a tip on the paw like I did. Also, don't forget to add the toe beans on the back paw if it is visible, because it is facing like upwards, like the underside is visible. The next step is to add floof texturing to the snout, underbelly, tail tip, paw tip, all that stuff. Don't add some to the toe beans because they do not have floof on them. So I usually like to do it alternating between one floof circle and two, but you can do it however you'd like. The next step is to get rid of the sketch. If you're in digital, that can be just turning the sketch layer off. And also, if you're on digital, I would suggest adding another layer for color instead of doing it on the same layer as the line art, because that way it makes it easier to fill in white spaces if there are any. The next step is to color the fox in the main color that you want it to be, like the main body and stuff. Like leave the underbelly, tail tip, paw tip, whatever all the tips you did or underbelly stuff you did, leave that white for the secondary color, and also the toe bean. The next step is to color in the underbelly, tail tip, all that stuff that you didn't color in the first time. Also, you can make the fox whatever color you want. You don't have to follow mine. I forgot to mention that the first time. The next step is to color in the eye, and if you are on digital, don't forget to color the back of the eye, not the part with the color white, because if you don't do that, then it could cause some problems when doing the background. The next step is to add eye shine. The next step is to draw the background. On digital, I usually like to have a bottommost layer to draw the background on. I drew mine in a house, and I like the floor I did. I think it looks neat. The next step is to add shading. I just went with an airbrush and just airbrushed the entire thing and then turned the opacity down because I was lazy and didn't feel like going in and doing actual shading, and there you have it. That's how you draw a fox lying down. if anybody does actually use this tutorial to draw a fox lying down, I would love to see the artwork. I just think it would be neat to see what you guys do with this. So if you ever do use this to draw a fox lying down, then tell me and I'll check it out.